When discussing the golden age of Islam, the era in which Muslims led the world in every field from science and technology to art and philosophy, it is essential to mention the crown jewel of that era, Al-Andalus, which was the symbol of Islamic prosperity at the time. Today, we will be discussing the military mind responsible for opening the doors of Al-Andalus to Islam, Tariq ibn Ziyad. Little is known about Tariq's early life. However, we do know that he was born around the year 670 AD or 50 after Hijrah. By this time, the Muslim nation, which started as a small city-state in Medina just 50 years earlier, had expanded into the largest empire the world had ever seen until that point. The Muslims first united the Arabian Peninsula, then conquered Iraq and the Levant, along with the entirety of the former Persian Empire. They also swept across North Africa, incorporating the land of modern-day Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, and parts of Algeria. As for Tariq, he was born on the frontier of Muslim expansion. It is unknown exactly where he was born, but he was born somewhere in Algeria or Tunisia. Tariq was a Berber and part of the first generation who were born Muslims. He primarily spoke Arabic, but also learned and retained his original Berber language. He was a remarkably pious and religious man who was also rather intelligent and well-read. He spoke eloquently and confidently. What he is most known for, however, is his skill in combat and strategic prowess. He took part in the Umayyad conquest of Morocco, and his outstanding performance in that campaign caught the attention of Musa ibn Nusayr, the military general appointed by the Caliph to oversee the North African expansion. Musa was so impressed with Tariq that he was appointed governor of Tangier for a short time. Tangier is a city in northern Morocco from which Spain can be seen with the naked eye. With this in mind, one can imagine that a campaign to cross the straits and establish a foothold in Spain was on Tariq's mind for some time. Eventually, Musa ibn Nusayr received word from the people of Spain, including disenfranchised Jewish and Christian groups, requesting a Muslim intervention to save them from their oppressive Visigoth rulers. Thus, Musa appointed Tariq to lead the expedition into Spain. To do this, the Muslim army first needed to reach the area that is now known as Gibraltar, or Jabal Tariq, Arabic for Mountain of Tariq. Upon reaching Gibraltar, Tariq had all of his ships burned, and then gave his famous address. "O my warriors, whither would you flee? Behind you is the sea, before you the enemy. You have left now only the hope of your courage and your constancy. Remember that in this country you are more unfortunate than the orphan seated at the table of the avaricious master." Tariq hoped to bolster his men's bravery and commitment by convincing them that their only chance for survival was through victory, and that retreat was not an option. The first major battle fought was the Battle of Guadalete in southern Spain in the year 711 AD or 92 after Hijrah. Tariq had an army of about 7,000 men with him. He had spotted the opposing army of King Roderick early enough and saw that he was vastly outnumbered, so he sent word to Musa ibn Nusayr requesting reinforcements. With the reinforcements, Tariq's army now stood approximately 12,000 strong. Some accounts of the battle say that a local Jewish population sent their men to help Tariq in the battle against King Roderick. As for the size of Roderick's army, there are multiple estimates. According to some Muslim accounts, Roderick had over 100,000 men, which is an outrageously high estimate. More likely, Roderick's army may have stood somewhere in the range of 20,000 to 30,000 men. Regardless, even with the reinforcements sent by Musa, Tariq's army was severely outnumbered. Tariq addressed his men before the battle. "Your enemy is before you, protected by an innumerable army. He has men in abundance, but you, as your only aid, have your own swords, and as your only chance for life, such chance as you can snatch from the hands of your enemy." With his strategic prowess and his use of hit-and-run tactics, Tariq exploited his superior cavalry, weakening the Visigoths' main forces. The infantry pressed the advantage, routing King Roderick's army and ultimately claiming victory. King Roderick was killed during the final hours of the battle, and the Visigoth army suffered extremely high casualties. The Muslims lost about 3,000 men. After this major battle, the rest of Iberia fell to the Muslim army in a few short years, with a few unremarkable battles here and there. By the year 716 AD or 97, after Hijrah, all of Iberia, what is now Spain and Portugal, was under Muslim rule, with the exception of a small kingdom to the north, and thus Al-Andalus was born. Little is known about Tariq ibn Ziyad's life after the conquest of Al-Andalus. He and Musa ibn Nusayr were both summoned back to Damascus by the Caliph, and their tales faded into the annals of time. Nonetheless, Tariq's accomplishments and his legacy as a hero of Islam endure, intertwined with the grand legacy of Al-Andalus. With the birth of Al-Andalus came the dawn of the Islamic Golden Age, a centuries-long era of prosperity in the Muslim world, and a time when Muslims were at the forefront of discovery and innovation in the fields of math, science, technology, philosophy, art, music, writing, economics, and much more. Over the coming centuries, however, the Christian kingdoms to the north would slowly take back more and more land from the Muslims, killing or expelling any Muslims living in their newly gained territory, until they fully reconquered the entirety of Iberia in 1492 and completely wiped out any remnants of Islamic civilization in the peninsula. This Reconquista was an event widely considered to symbolize the end of Islamic prosperity and dominance on the world stage. The birth of Al-Andalus marked the birth of the Islamic Golden Age, and the fall of Al-Andalus marked the twilight of this era. Though the fall of Al-Andalus remains a poignant wound for the Muslim world to this very day, let us instead take pride in what we achieved and fondly remember what we once were. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the captivating story of Tariq ibn Ziyad. We hope you enjoyed it and gained a deeper appreciation for the legacy of Al-Andalus. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating content. We'd also love to hear your thoughts and personal connections in the comments below. Until next time, thank you for your support.